Hello, everyone. This video is for moms or teachers. I get so many questions about how that you can help your children to read better. And this time of year, it's January at the time I'm recording this. I get so many requests from parents for me to tutor their children in reading. And I do tutor, and I have a lot of students. I'm almost completely booked right now. And I just thought maybe I need to stop and take a moment to make a video on what you can do to help your struggling reader. So, this video is for anyone, whether your child is just starting to read and they need some help to get going, or whether they are already into it and they're having some struggles, they're not on grade level. This is for anyone who is trying to help their child to become a better reader. So, the first thing that I would say, if your child is beginning to read, you need a solid foundation in phonics. You need to make sure that they know all the letter sounds, that they know how to blend those sounds, that they can put a third letter and read CVC, consonant, vowel, consonant words like CAT, cat, or BAT, bat, or whatever. And then you need to, after they can do that really well, you need to introduce some sight words. And I recommend, I have another video where I showed you how to make a little sight word flip book so that you can get those sight words down. And the reason for that, I do not believe in teaching reading just by sight, but learning the high frequency sight words just helps them as they're moving from reading smaller words into bigger sentences. Those smaller, high frequency words that they're going to see often, if they know those and don't have to stop and sound all of those out, is just going to help them to move forward in their reading. They're going to get those. Let me just, for example, show you this sight word, look. They're going to get those reading rules later, and it really won't be a sight word. But right now, since they don't have all those reading rules that are coming under their belt, it's like OO says or ooh, la, ook, look. Since they don't have that down yet, those just help them to advance on in their reading so they can begin reading simple books. Okay, now the next step, that's for beginning readers, but this is where most of my students are coming from. They are in first grade, second grade, third, fourth grade, and they're struggling and they can't keep up with their grade level. And that is usually because there are some holes in the phonics foundation. So, not with the letter sounds necessarily, but in those rules that come next. So, there are a lot. You and I know that the English language has a lot of rules to it. Letters don't always sound the way that we think they do. In fact, when you put some letters together, they make whole new sounds, like the one we looked at, the OO saying or ooh. So there are a series, I think, of about 18 different kind of lessons that I go through in my phonics first book, and I'll be glad to put the link for that below. And those are just those basic rules that take you through all those exceptions or all those extra rules that they're going to see as they advance in their reading. We know that we begin with little tiny books that just have simple words, but then as we keep going, the rules come into play. We're learning those, and the books get longer and the words get harder. So, somewhere along the way, they've missed some of those rules. Those holes need to be patched up with some practice. Now, past that, and even maybe instead of that, here's what I really recommend. Like, this is the heart of this video: practice with your child. Practice, practice, practice. Even if they don't know those rules, or even if they've heard them and it didn't stick, when you practice and they see the word in the book on the page and they say it wrong and you tell them, and you just keep doing that over time with different books or even the same book again, they're going to get it. It's going to click. And then you're kind of compensating for the fact that, yes, there were some holes in that original learning, but now you've patched it up with practice. So here is my big recommendation. So I like the books, and there are so many out there, and I'll put the link below to some that I suggest, but there are so many books. Let me just grab this one really fast. that have levels on them. Look on the back of this one. This is a step into reading, just one of many, many different series. This is from Random House, but there are so many different types of books. This one is from Zonderkids. You can find them everywhere, but look for leveled readers, and you can see that there are some for each level of reading. So for number one is just one, it says ready to read for preschool and kindergarten. So start with level one readers. Just let them read. Sit beside them. Look how simple. Sit beside them. Let them, it takes some time. And I think this is where in our instant gratification society where we go wrong. Just stop and be still. Take a breath and just sit with them. If it takes 30 minutes to get through a book, let them work on these words. Let them sound it out. And then you guide and correct. And you do that every day, 30 minutes every day on the couch or wherever in the evening. Let them read to you. So that was a level one book, and there are levels. Let me see if I just pulled some from the shelf. I have a lot of level one books because, I predominantly teach kindergarten, pre-K and kindergarten, but you can find them, as you saw, you can find them all the way up to level 4, which is just before chapter books. And you can even then move on to chapter books and let them read a chapter. If they're in 3rd grade, 4th grade, let them read a chapter to you every evening on the couch. The book choices are, my son loved Thomas, so you can see we have a lot of Thomas. But also I wanted to point out that you can even get faith-based books. And so not only are they practicing reading, they're getting some important truths inside of them, like this one, The Berenstain Bears, God Made the Colors. That's a level 1 reader, and that comes from Zonderkids. Here's one. This is Jesus Lives. This one's about Easter. It comes from Standard Publishing. We also have a bunch of those leveled readers that are kind of similar to this one. I'll open it so you can see what that looks like. Lots more words, but that's for this particular one is for level, well, it's for after level 3. So that's why it was a holiday book, but it comes like right in here after level 3. So that one's a little bit harder. This one is also level 1, and it's The Berenstain Bears, Do Not Fear, God is Near, from also Zonderkids. And there are lots to choose from all the way up to level 4. So that is my big suggestion, is to let them read to you. Practice, practice, practice. I think predominantly what I'm finding is that parents, they want so desperately to help their children with their reading that they're looking for tutors to kind of teach them, when really at the end of the day, it's just more about practice than anything. So just sit on the couch, get some leveled readers right where your child is at, and then let them 30 minutes a day read to you, and you will be amazed at the difference. I hope that was helpful, and I hope that you'll let me know if there are other videos I can make for you. I am, here it comes, 52 years old. I have taught school for 7 years in public and traditional schools before my children came along. I homeschooled them all the way through. They are now finished with college, graduated from college with honors. No thanks to me, thanks to the grace of God and their hard work. I'm so proud of them. But at this stage in my life, I am building up a library of learning resources for you, hopefully, that you can use here on this channel and on my blog. So if there's something that you'd like for me to talk about, I would certainly love to use all that lifetime of experience or trial and error or my mistakes to help you do better. I'd certainly love to do that. So let me know. And definitely, if you need some more help and reading tips, I'll be glad to pass those along. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you're not, and please share with your friends. I love to increase our audience here at my Library of Learning. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.